Good morning, good morning, good morning, B. How's it rocking over there?
Good morning. Good morning. It's going well. How you?
Good. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Good. Still a
Feel
little
good?
scratchy throat, nose, but feel good.
All
Feel good.
right.
Feel
Okay.
okay.
All right. So
Just
I'm gonna.
the mornings are a little bit more tough.
Yeah, that's
Doing
how it
good.
usually is. All right. So I'm gonna send you over what you need for the Instagram,
Sounds
and
good. Welcome
there it
everybody to
is.
the this season podcast. Give mama
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
Good morning, good people. Say hello if you're out there, or when you get out there. Say hello to us. We're gonna give it to you quick and easy like Wednesday morning, this morning. Yeah, so you ready to rock it, Brandon?
I'm ready to rock and roll. Welcome everybody as you start to go through the live stream. Welcome to the Instagram live people. Let's see here. Trying to make sure everything's good on my side.
Shows up all good here.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
Let's see. I think they stopped me again. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna keep going until then. But welcome again to the 119th day of the end of the season cast, where we go through the book Daily Motivations for African American Success, written by Kimbro. If you haven't gotten the book, please be sure to do so, as it is the mainstay of this podcast right now. It is the book that we are using for our personal development, for our affirmations and our inspirations, our wisdoms and meditations and thoughts to ponder, inspire, teach, and dream about. So this is the cookout, um, where food is conversation. Just get you a plate and then take one home and give some to somebody else. That means take what we speak of here, take what we learn and experience, and take it out into the world and use it and deliver it to other people and share it with. We'll have conversations with them. Um, Try to make the impact of this bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's not let it just stop with us. The gift that keeps on giving, because this completely for free. This is not only for us, but it's people that we love, the people within our circle, people within kind of our soul. So if you follow us, we have known each other or touched in lives in any kind of way. This is for you, and even for the people that we don't, we expect for you guys to invite people here. So thank you for joining, and we'll jump right into it. So daily motivation, African American success will help you focus on the deeds and attitudes that lead you to the achievement of your true goal. And 365 powerful motivations, one for each day. Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to use the present moment and our own transcend labels, cultivate positive attitude, become wiser when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for life's challenges. Each begins with words of wisdom from distinguished and celebrated African American Malcolm X, Marion Zimmerman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Cohen, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds others. This treasure trove of inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. Make sure you get the book to get the story. All right, everybody good? Can you see me well, Mama? No more freezes.
I know we could see
How's it
you.
looking on your side?
Hopefully, what you just did, it was freezing a lot, and I could see it freezing out there on the
Okay,
platform too. So yeah, I think it seems to be better whatever you did.
okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. No, anything on your side, Mama? You want me to jump right into it?
Jump right into it. Let's do it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, today's title is a title, I think, of a movie called. The title is School Days, but it reminds me of a movie. So School Days is the title for today. And the quote comes from Gregory Hines, who's an actor and dancer, who said, "Remember, luck is the opportunity is opportunity meeting up with preparation. So you must prepare yourself to be lucky. Remember, luck is opportunity meeting up with preparation. So you must prepare yourself to be lucky. Life is a persistent teacher. It will repeat a lesson over and over until it is learned. How does life know whether or not we have learned a lesson? Until we have changed our behavior. Until then, even if we intellectually know something, we haven't really learned it. School remains in session. The good news is that we eventually learn all we need to know. For some, however, eventually is not soon enough. If you can learn something that will make your life happier, healthier, and more productive, why not learn it now? That brings happiness, health, and productivity to you sooner, and it avoids a lot of painful lessons along the way. Others aren't content with learning only what they need to know. Getting by is not enough. They want more. They're eager learners. But what if we're curious about things? I hear some backdrop on yours, Mom. But what if we're curious about things that seemingly can't be answered? When faced with this quandary, we need to refer to the words of Janetta Cole, president of Spelman College. Society curses ignorance, whether among the rich or poor. To be educated is the greatest gift in life. Marva Collins, the founder of Chicago's West Side Prep, agrees. The world itself is a university. She said to a reporter, children learn from every facet of life. Whomever evades learning misses out on life. When we continue to learn, we learn how to succeed. And the affirmation for today that we read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person that you are going to invite to the next show. The affirmation is, you're not in school for only a few years. You're in school for the rest of your life. You're not in school for only a few years. You're in school for the rest of your life. And last time, you're not in school for only a few years. You're in school for the rest of your life. All right, over to you, Mom. What'd you think about that one?
Changed behavior. Until we have changed our behavior, until then, even if we intellectually know something, we haven't really learned it.
Hmm.
That one's it, y'all. School days. And I say that we should always be a student to life, but not just life to our life. Right? Because sometimes we go we go to school, and especially college, and we study something that we're not even interested in. We're doing it for mama them, daddy them, the world them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do it for the money, right? So, what school are you in? Why did you pick it? Did you even pick the right location? Right? What's your study? What is it that you're studying? What are you getting a master in, a PhD? And why? And why? And does it equate to being a student to your life or someone else's life or something else? Right? Because to go into a field for money, y'all, man, you know how many unhappy people, you know how many people who have a degree in something and never practiced it, never even got an opportunity to perform the job. Imagine that, to spend all that time. Attorneys, I know people who went to school to be an attorney, never practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
So a student to your life, and life is a persistent teacher. Your life is constantly teaching you, constantly. You must be willing to always grow and stay in school, your school. It will repeat a lesson over and over, and I'm going to say, and over again until it is learned. How does life know? How does life know? Doesn't say, how do you know? How does life know whether or not? I'm going to say, you have learned a lesson. Until you have changed your behavior. Until then, even if we intellectually know something, we haven't really learned it. So, my question today is another question. What behavior has changed for you? When you look over your life, because I know, and I'm still growing, man, I have to apply this every day. But you've heard me say here, if you've been rocking with us, sometimes I feel like, man, you've changed so much that I want to change my name to identify with the changes that I see in my life, that I had to call myself out on and change my behavior on. And when you do that, you're consistently coming up against things that prove or that you have to show that your behavior has changed in this area. So I like it, Brandon. I like it. It gives us more work to do as it relates to the behavior. Because, think about something that you have maybe some beef with somebody about as it relates to their behavior towards you or something, right? And if they keep saying, I'm sorry, but they keep doing it again, are they really sorry? Right? Are they really sorry? For you to decide, but imagine what it makes you feel like, what you think of them. Hey, you keep doing the same thing. Why? And there's somebody out there thinking the same thing about us, about you. She keeps doing the same thing though. So you could be knowledgeable, intellectual in this area, but if it does not change your behavior, what good is the wisdom, the knowledge? So over to you, Brandon.
Thanks, Mom. I appreciate it. I agree with that. Out of all that we know, it does us no good just to know it,
Mm.
but to put action behind it. If our knowledge induces us to act or to make better decisions, then we don't have a quandary, right? We have a mission. And so
Mm.
there isn't a question, there isn't a dilemma on what to do if we have the knowledge. But oftentimes we have there's more that's murkying the water and muddying the water of our consciousness than just the knowledge that we have. Sometimes we know exactly what to do, why to do it, why it's best, but just because other people don't agree or other people might have a different opinion, we will act differently. And remember, people are entitled to their own opinions, but not their own facts. And knowledge is factual. So if you have facts in your knowledge, then you are responsible for what you do with that knowledge or what you don't do. I think that some sins are based on what you don't do, not what you do, not just what you do, right? If you don't, if you see an elderly woman being beaten by a group of teenagers, teenage boys, beat down to the ground, and you're a big old husky man, and you do nothing, are you still sinless? Are you still blameless? If you know how to fix your grandmother's car and she goes for weeks and weeks and weeks without an oil change, are you innocent by not doing anything for her? Are you using the knowledge that you have for the betterment, not just of yourself, but of the people in your care, the people in your proximity, the communities that you have? You see an issue in your community and you have the wherewithal, the time, because you do have the time, you're alive, to do something about it, to make it better. How many of us just say, well, it's not my personal problem? But as you know, what we externalize as problems usually come back to us. And so we'll keep running into that same situation, that same lesson. We'll still stay in that same community. We won't be able to leave it because we have done nothing to change what is within ourselves. But we want to see the community change. But we've done nothing to change that which is within ourselves. And God will not change the condition of a people until they do what? Until they first change that which is within themselves. And it starts with knowledge. It starts with knowledge. But if you don't put, rubber to the pavement, then what does that knowledge serve you? Right? So let's look at some of the quotes inside of the passage. It says that life is a persistent teacher. It's going to keep coming to teach you until you learn. That lesson will keep returning to you. Why? Because you can't attract anything other than that lesson, right? It's like a fly that knows it needs to go out the window and it hits the glass, and then the fly runs back around to the other side of the house. And then eventually it hits the glass again and runs to the other side of the house because it knows that it needs to go outside, but it can't break the glass, right? That's how I see us, as when we keep repeating the same things, because we're wired to go in this direction. We're wired to move toward the sun. We're wired like the fly. We're wired to move towards success. But what's blocking us? It's not the knowledge, right? It's the action, right? So others aren't content with learning only what they need to know. Getting by is not enough. They want more. They're eager learners. But what if we're curious about things that seemingly can't be answered? When faced with this quandary, we need to refer to the words of Janetta Cole, who said, "Society curses ignorance, whether among the rich or the poor. But to be educated is the greatest gift in life." Now, from my understanding of the definition of education, it comes from the Latin word educat, which means to bring out or to pull something out, right? Not to instill in. That's indoctrination. There's a difference. Education is to pull out, to tool someone's brain with the capacity to express itself, to learn. Education isn't always learning. It's different. I think those two are very different. Education is a pulling out of knowledge that's already within you. Human beings have been surviving and living for 2 million years now, or more. We have everything that we need in order to survive. The knowledges that we gain, there's really nothing new under the sun. It's just the only thing that changes is how it's done. You know what I mean? So there's beneficial knowledge, and then there's knowledge that's not beneficial. And I think what it is we are entertained by knowledge that does not inform us, by knowledge that does not benefit us. I bet you we know who Kanye West is with, or who so-and-so is with. That is not beneficial knowledge. That's not knowledge that you can take action about, other than gossiping, right? So what knowledge do you have that you can take action on? And the knowledge that you do have, let's say about celebrities or something that doesn't really concern you, what of that knowledge is taking up space in your brain, in your consciousness? Whose names are wet on your tongue? Does it matter? Do they matter? Does that impact the people in your life? Are you able to take actionable steps with the knowledge that you have and that you're gaining on a daily basis? Did you learn something else about yourself today or yesterday? Did you learn something more about your creator yesterday? Can you take action on those things? Or did you learn, who's talking about who? What types of things are we focusing our attention on? And show me where somebody's attention is, and I'll show you where their intention is. Right? And your intention has a lot to do with it. So what's your intention in gaining knowledge? Is it to be smart, or is it to get something done? Right? You're not in school for only a few years. You're in school for the rest of life. There was a study done. I don't know the exact parameters of it, but for people that are getting older, the more you continue to learn new things, to read, to study, the less chances you have of Alzheimer's, of dementia, right? If you don't use it, you'll lose it, right? So as people age, you have more of an incentive, even more. A child and an elderly person have like the same incentive. The child is trying to learn so that they can survive, so that they can experience life with all of the senses that they have, that they're gaining, and they're trying to learn how to use those. An elderly person is trying to survive, and as their senses leave them, as Shakespeare says, sans everything or everything leaves. Um, they're trying to maintain their senses and use and gain knowledge so that they can survive and thrive and continue for more and more years. So to me, it seems like the elders and the children are kind of in a similar space, right? Like you become children again, you become needing to be taken care of again, right? Now also you should become childlike again in the way that you learn, in the way that you experience. This will extend your life, this will increase the quality of your life, and it'll keep you from things like dementia. It'll keep you from things like depression. It'll keep you from things like becoming stagnant or becoming resentful or becoming that bitter old person, right? Because you're learning something new. You don't become stagnant and stale if you're moving. Water only becomes stagnant and stale and putrid if it sits in one place. Mosquitoes, the parasites, don't even get inside if that water is moving because they can't survive. But once it becomes still and stationary, all types of things can live in there. All right. So don't become stagnant. When you stop moving, you die. When your mind stops, you stop using your mind, it begins to die. This is the order of life. It takes too much energy to continue to produce brain cells, and you're not using them. Okay? So by using them, I don't mean just learn. The human being learns differently when they put something to action, when they learn with their hands, when they learn with their eyes. Most times we're just learning by sitting down now. Once you learn something, go experience. If you hear about, oh, I can take the seeds out of this tomato that I love. This tomato was so good. We did this yesterday. My wife ate some of the tomatoes we got from the farmer's market, Mom. And she was like, I really like this tomato. So next thing I know, she's digging out the little seeds in the tomato, wrapping them up because we want to taste them tomatoes some more later because that was a good tomato. So we take
Brandon,
it, huh?
the greens are so good. Y'all go to the
We're
farmer's
about to
market.
get up.
I can't stop. He can't pack the greens. I mean, y'all, they taste. I was telling Jimmy last night. It's like they taste like my grandma's greens.
So
Like,
they ain't got all them pesticides in them.
man, y'all, go get y'all some greens. Go get something from the farmer's market. The greens are so good, y'all. I've been eating greens for like 4 days in a row. I'm just, they are so good.
You're gonna have to bring me some 4 days in a row. I was over there less than 4 days ago. Where the greens at?
I told you there was greens in the refrigerator.
You did?
Yes, you were so busy eating everything else.
What did I eat?
Everything.
Oh yeah, steak,
I had to
potato,
keep something for
corn,
myself.
rice, chicken, gravy,
Everything, y'all. Everything.
cake.
And then he did what what people do. He went upstairs and went to sleep.
Went to sleep. Boy, I slept so good. I slept so good.
But y'all, go get something from the farmers market. Go get the greens. Cook y'all some greens. I'm so serious, y'all. Those greens so good. I got collards. Man, y'all, they so good. They taste like greens, like real food. But
You know what?
another day.
You know what, Mom? I think also too. I just read this quote in here. If you can learn something that will make your life happier, healthier, and more productive, why not learn it now?
Because we
Right?
stuck. People are stuck.
And we're comfortable. We're stuck
Comfortable.
because we're
Right.
comfortable and we fear the
Change.
uncomfortability of the unknown. We
Yes.
fear getting it wrong. We are so egotistical, y'all. Speaking of myself first, we are so egotistical to where we don't want to be wrong about something that we believed for what we think what may be too long. There are things that we know aren't true that we still
Entertain.
buy and entertain buy
Just for the
into
sake of ego.
just for the sake of ego.
Brandon.
It could be in religion, it could be in politics, it could be in
Yes.
science, it could be in whatever. But there are things that we know don't sound right, that we know don't feel right, that we know don't benefit us truly. But if we could be healthier while we still eating like crap, why and not gaining knowledge about health, right? If we could be happier, why are we not gaining the knowledge of mental
Because
health,
people don't want to change their behavior.
right?
We don't want to change their behavior. And Brandon, for the sake of time, I want to bring something out real quick, and I
Yeah.
want to read something from Facebook that I saw yesterday. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have a lot to do with the school days, but we could bring it in. We can apply it. It says here, the good news is that we eventually learn all we need to know. Hear that. We eventually learn all we need to know. Have you learned all that you need to know? And now you just need to apply it. It reminds me of my friend Tika, and I'm going to say her name. Y'all, Tika is one of the smartest friends I have ever had, right? And I used to tell her this. I was like, don't you read another book. Tika could tell you the book, the name of the book, the author, and almost everything in the book. I said, it is time for you to apply. You are constipated. It's time for you to graduate and go do the job, right? One of the smartest, so smart, she's in her own way,
Mm.
right? So the good news is that eventually you will learn all that you need to know. And I want to come down to where it says, um, others aren't content with learning only what they need to know, right? It just told us that we will eventually learn all that we need to know. But some people are not okay with just learning what they need to know. And this is where it gets hot and heavy. It says getting by is not enough. So with knowing what you or learning what you need to know is just enough to get by, especially in this world. It says getting by is not enough for them. They want more. They have more within them because, as Brandon said, education is about bringing out a giving of yourself, your wisdom, your knowledge, right? That's what it's about. I want to read this. And Brandon, you gave me I'm going to be doing a seminar for the elderly people. And I've been pondering what to say to them because I feel like a lot of them, not all of them, there's nothing more precious to the eye than an elderly person who is still living, who still has so much life in them. And Brandon, I love what you said. You know, you can become old and you become childlike, but take on that childlike interest in learning. There is nothing more precious than seeing an elderly person still going and wanting to go, right? So just stay stuck on that for a minute. Getting by is not enough. And that's in relation to others aren't content with learning only what they need to know. There's some things that's just for you, only for you. The learning is just about you. But even then, you got to go another year. Go get your PhD in you. It's like I told somebody about, I think I shared this on the show. And I heard God's voice say, the next time someone asks you if you have a degree, you tell them it's in God. You tell them it's in me. Because I can open doors for you that you're not even standing before it. I will get you on the other side and make the people inside wonder, how did she get here? Who let her in? And they were the same ones sign the dotted line, right? That's get a degree in God. Because I know he's opened doors for me that I'm like, oh my God, really? But why am I surprised? I should not be. And God should not have to keep proving himself to me. I should say, let's go. Like Mary, I'm a servant. Let's go. Where we going today, Lord? Might not like where you sent me, but hey, let's take me to school today. What class am I in? I'm in the class with a teacher that I don't like. Whew, what is that going to teach me? Right? So I
Patience.
want to read this. Exactly. I want to read this, y'all. And I know y'all gonna probably say, like, what does that have to do with this? But it's about getting stuck and in a place of based on your ego and things like that. And I don't know if y'all know RC Blake's Ministries. He put a post out that said, with he and his wife, beautiful couple. She said I wasn't her type. Lifelong and happy relationships are not based on type.
Hmm.
People who ultimately choose the right one have learned from the failures of past relationships built on type. Type ain't enough, right? Learning ain't enough, right? So type ain't enough. Great relationships are based on finding your kind, your kin. I'll say that. Type is surface. Kind or kin is substance. Type is height, weight, color, etc. Right? Kin is loyal, honest, consistent, etc. The child, get this, the child in us gets stuck on type. The mature person values kind, kin folks, right? You know, so I when I saw that I loved it. You know, she started out, you're not my type. But see, she's looking outside. She doesn't even know her type inside. And when you go to school and you find out what your type is, like who you are inside, we stop picking the wrong people to do life with. You wake up and find yourself with people like, what the hell? Because guess what? You have changed behavior. And now that behavior does not match, not just change behavior, because change behavior turns into new actions, new needs, new wants, new meaning to life. So if you are stuck, you pick stuck people, right? So, or you pick people based on a type. Is he tall enough? Well, what if he gets in an accident and ends up in a wheelchair? Do you still love him? Do you still love her? She gets cancer and loses all of her hair, but you fell in love, or you have this type of woman with long hair. That's not love, y'all.
Yeah, we don't know what love is, man. And I'm
Right.
gonna be
That's
honest
not
with y'all.
love.
Marriage is not about love. Y'all better
You
quit
know?
with that foolishness. It is not about marriage. Is not about love, y'all. Do you know
Sure,
that
when you don't even know what love is.
for
You
real?
know?
Look. I love, man, mama. I love collard greens. I love fish, even though I kill it and put it in a frying pan. Man, I love my car. It get me from A to B. Man, what a lovely day. I love it when when the sun's coming up.
What's love got to do?
Not a dang thing. I'm gonna tell you,
What's love? But a what?
second
Second hand
hand
emotion.
emotion. So what's the first hand?
Hmm.
Hmm? Nobody even think about that. We just like to sing the song. Listen, y'all. Do you know that people that live in countries where the marriages happen before the people fall in love, the people happen in somewhat of an arranged way, not arranged as in, oh, your son and my daughter. It's not like that. It's more like these two people come from good families. They have interest in each other, but they don't know each other like that. They don't have intimate relations or any type of things like that before they get married. Do you know that those relationships, those marriages, independently last much longer than the relationships where people have sex before marriage, where they live together before marriage, before when they do all these different things before marriage, right? Because it's counterintuitive to us, right? Like man, I want to know what I'm gonna get. I want to know what she cook like, what her loving feel like. I want to know what you know, how she is or how he is. But is that the way God told you to do it?
Brandon, some people,
I'm
most people
I'm for
get
real.
married just because society says, hey, get married.
It's about
There
that
are
time.
people here, right? Like that, you just do it because that's what you think you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying that's what you're not supposed to do. But if you go to your school, if you go to your school, you will know, you will know. And I'm telling you guys, you will know who who to bring into your life and who not to, right? And you
Right.
may choose that you don't want to bring someone in your life in that way. And that's okay too. But we have, I'm going to use women because that's what I see the most. We have women who have never been married and they feel so unvalued, right? They feel so unloved based on the fact that a man has not asked for their hand. Why? Why? Because that's not what it's about. And school days will make you also understand that, how can I say this? Because I don't want it to come out wrong. Um, I'm just gonna say it like this. You will do you. Until you learn how to do you,
Mm-mm,
ain't
mm-mm.
nobody else come in your life and do anything.
I see what you're saying, because I was I, I I don't agree empirically with because I think it's natural for a man and a woman who is of age to want companionship of the opposite
Mhm.
sex,
I do too. I think
right?
that. Yeah.
I mean, it is a need, right? But what do you need prior to that? You need to be a suitable person. You need to be a person that has the maturity. You need to be not only of age but of maturity. Sometimes we think marriage is about an age thing. No, it's a maturation thing, right? We don't have rites of passage to designate manhood and womanhood. We just grow up. And we can be a grown boy. Excuse me. You can be a grown, you can be a grown
Trying to
boy.
trying to love a grown woman as in this from the stage of a boy. I
Right.
get that. I
And
get that.
and
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 vice versa.
and vice versa. And in many cases, women men too. So, ladies, hold on. This ain't just on y'all. Women sometimes want and expect the man to love them how they love. Women will expect the man to love them like a woman, and then men will expect a woman to love them how a man would love. You see what I'm saying? So you get
Mhm.
these feminine men and these masculine women trying to love on a man and a woman. If a man loves a woman in the capacities using the tools of a woman, she will run away from you, and it will not
Woo.
work.
Yeah,
It
ladies, y'all know
it will
we
not
can't have
work.
no, yeah. And
You don't want no, huh?
Brandon, can I say this really quick? And y'all,
Yeah,
we got Brandon, we
we
and
gotta
we
go.
got to bring it to a close because we're taking it to another thing. And you,
School
Little
days.
Will, Brandon, and myself, we're gonna do something on relationships soon here, you guys. But many times, and I hear this more from women. I don't want a man. I have a lady right now, y'all, and I've told you I have a lot of. God allows me to have a lot of elderly women in my life, and I'm thankful for it because they teach. I get so much from each one of them, different things. But there's one right now who I've heard since I met her. Oh no, I don't want another man. Da 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 da. Well, she calls me Monday. I got a boyfriend.
No, because they want it.
Y'all just as happy, just as
Hmm.
happy. And I'm going to see him and da 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 da. And me, I'm like, okay, I need to talk to him. I need his phone number because I don't care old or not. I don't trust folks these days. So I need his number, name, and all that. So she thought that was so funny. Yesterday, she called and she said, well, I'm not going to see him. He has COVID. Y'all know me. I'm like, send me the papers, right? I'm already in my head. I'm not saying it's right. I didn't say it to her, but just
I'm not saying it right.
Yeah, my thinking. I'm not saying the thought process is right because he really could have COVID, but I'm like, okay, where you going to get COVID? You retired? What? But anyway, COVID really. So, well, I hope she's not listening because I didn't say this to her, but out there now, right? But what I'm saying is, stop playing with ourselves. If you want one, if you want a man or a woman, let that be okay. Don't play with yourself. Don't
Mm,
sit in the school of relationships saying you don't want a man or a woman. And then understand what that means. Do you want a man or do you want a relationship? Do you want a relationship or do you want a marriage? And what does that mean? And this is applicable to
mhm,
anything. Do you want $1 million just to spend $1 million? That's a Brandon question right there. So the why. Why are you in school? What are you learning? What did you sign up for when they said, what's your major going to be? Undecided? You just learning the basics? And then you will decide. Because as I mentioned, many people go to school for what mama and them want them to do. Because mama and them want them to be about that money. What does money do for a spirit and soul that's disconnected? What does money do for it? Just keep you wanting more money in an early grave. I
mhm,
think about my grandma, who y'all, she never stopped moving. She never stopped moving and thinking. I will never forget going there the last time I saw her and asking her for her baby sister's phone number. And she says, give me my notebook up there. Grandma had this notebook, I don't know how long. And
the black
I
one.
have a picture. I was just so, it blessed me so much to see my grandmother sit there and just scroll through her book until she found the number that I wanted. And she scrolled through. She didn't rush through it, anything. And get this, I'm thinking I'm fine. I got a little weight on me, right? She says to me, now you look good, but don't get any bigger. You know, it's just full of life and truth. She would speak her truth, y'all. So go to school, y'all. Go to your school. Start a school of Trent. I see you there. Start a school of Sierra, my peppermint patty. Y'all, peppermint patty's in the house, Brandon. You see her?
Mm-hmm.
Start the school of Mike, the school of Brenda. Start your school. Create the curriculum. Create the lesson plans for the curriculum. And then know that most of us, I would say, most of us have learned all that we need to know. You just need to apply it through changed behavior. And changed behavior is changed thinking, changed seeing, changed feeling, changed hearing, changed behavior is action. Not just action, the right action. The right action. You show up and you take the quizzes and you pass. You show up and you take the tests. And I say quizzes because quizzes are what? Pop quizzes. Let me say that. Pop quiz. You remember you used to walk in school and the teacher be like, okay, put your books up. Or you be like, what? You didn't tell us. That's why we call it pop. And y'all know life will pop on you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What will you do when it pops? What will you do? Who are you when it pops? Right? So that's all I have, Brandon. Let's get out of here.
Get
Y'all
on
take
down.
this as more time for contemplation, right? Thank you, Sierra, for joining us at the barbecue. Trent Williams, thank you as well. For, we don't see you every day. So thank you guys so much, you guys. And I want to thank Trent. He's been on the back end creating some reels for me, and I got to get out there and put them out there. I think I'm just gonna give him my password and say, you do that too for me, please. But thank you for that, my brother. And
Appreciate
let's
that
get
too.
out of here, Brenda.
All right, y'all. On this May 29th, thank you again for the 119th edition of the End of Season podcast. Thank y'all for joining us, participating, and as we say, rocking with us. We're going to keep rocking on. The title for today was School Days. School Days, kind of reminiscent of that 1988 film by Spike Lee that had Morris Fishburne and a whole bunch of other people. School Days. And the quote comes from Gregory Hines, the actor and dancer, who said, "Remember, luck is opportunity meeting up with preparation. So you must prepare yourself to be lucky." Right?
Mm.
And after a reading of the passage where it spoke about life being the most persistent teacher, about lessons that we continue to learn and bringing action to those to the things that we learn and how it benefits our life. We saw at the end of the passage says, "Whoever evades learning misses out on life." So if you want the best out of life, continue to keep learning. We came at the end to an affirmation that we always read 3 times. One for you and I, one for you, one for myself, and one for the person that you're going to invite to. This is how we, at the cookout, the conversation is the food. Food is the conversation and what we learn from each other, the insights that we pull out, right? So we're going to read this 3 times. Remember that person. Think of that person in your head that you're going to invite to. So take this conversation to them and spread this good word and the good news. You are not in school for only a few years. You're in school for the rest of your life. Tell somebody that you're not in school for only a few years. You're in school for the rest of your life. Life is a lesson. Life is a lesson. Life is a university. You're not in school for the last time. Say it out loud. You are not in school for only a few years. You can say, I am not in school for only a few years. I am in school for the rest of my life. All right, y'all go out there and learn something. And most importantly, apply it. Apply the beneficial knowledge. All right.
Right.
Y'all take care.
So
We appreciate. Yeah. You got something?
we didn't, I hate that we missed out on that quote. So I put it back up there, you guys. Are you prepared? Are you preparing to be lucky?
Mm,
Are you preparing? Because remember, luck is opportunity meeting up with preparation. It's like what we talked about yesterday, your spirit meeting up with your soul, becoming one. Luck is opportunity meeting up with preparation. Are you preparing to be lucky, to be blessed? Are you even prepared? Can you handle being blessed?
right.
Right? So,
Yep.
peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Take care. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time on